I'm Jay Smith, and we've got some special guests with us live in studio today. You've been hearing about Red Legacy here all this week on the XS Local Spotlight. Speak of them, and they arrived. The boys are here with us in studio here today. Want to welcome them here kindly. You'll find details on our web, ckxsfm.com. Christian Vey, Mackenzie Burrows of Red Legacy in studio. Welcome, boys.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hello.
Made the trek from Windsor. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. And you guys, the first thing that always comes to mind, I hit play. I threw that CD in, and I was told by a pretty big fan of yours that you guys were a big deal. You guys were kids who needed to be listened to. You wouldn't believe you're 16. And I think that sums it up, musically speaking, and I think the way you guys look at the music industry right now, a little bit more mature than just 16-year-olds. Is that fair, or does that knock you off your chair a little bit?
Oh, well, thank you very much. I guess we try our best, and I don't know, we work really hard. We're practicing all the time and coming up with new ideas and stuff. So I don't know, the CD was it was a really new thing for us.
The experience of making it is what we got out of it too a lot.
I really enjoyed working with Marty Back. He was our producer and at SLR. He was a really great guy, and it was an honor to work with him.
How different what was the process for you guys from, jamming out in the garage or for the friends, or whether it's at school, at little parties, little local festivals, to being in a studio, putting something together and knowing, hey, this is a CD with our name on it?
We did a lot of preparation, I guess, to do that, because you're basically paying for the time you're in there. So we're always like, okay, we got to practice everything we're going in there right now. Yeah. We got to get it ready so that when we're in there, it's just one take.
See, there's a lot of guys and girls out there, again, who are 30, 40, been working on this for years, and they don't even figure out that financial aspect of it. So kudos to you guys.
I even planned on how I was gonna unpack my guitar rig and how fast I was.
Of course you did. I can see that.
It was gonna be a quick setup, and then I set everything up, and then he said, "Oh, we're only gonna do a scratch track, so you actually don't even need any of this the first days." Oh, okay.
Now I know.
Okay.
Christian Vey, Mackenzie Burrows here with us in studio. Mackenzie, I want to start here with you, because we see and hear that last name and we think that's a familiar one. We've heard of that last name here on the Canadian music scene for a while. And yeah, you are of that Burrows family tradition.
Yes.
Any added pressure there?
Kind of. It's mostly not really pressure. It's helpful, actually, if you want to put it that way, because they're always there to help you. They're always there supporting you, and they're always there to show you new things. And the fact that I come from a music background always helps with the fact that they're always pushing me to do music, and instead of making school a priority, it's kind of balanced instead, so that the amount of schoolwork I do, I can do the exact same amount in music at the same time.
Now, of course, you're banging on the drum kit, because that's what you do with that last name as well. How long and how many family members who are banging away?
Oh, how long? I think I started when I was 6, personally. I think maybe 5, but then I stopped because I hated it. And then I went back to it after because I had nothing to do, and I stayed playing that till now. But then family members, I got me, my dad played, my brother, 2 nephews. There's more. I know there's more. I think my grandpa also played a bit too. And I know I'm forgetting some people.
Don't worry, you'll just miss some Christmas gifts this year. Yeah. It's all right. You'll get over it. Mackenzie Burrows we're speaking to here right now of Red Legacy. Red-legacy.com is the website, correct? Yeah. Make sure you guys check it out here while you're doing your thing. And I got to speak to your family as well, because I don't know Dad, but I've met Jeff, of course, several times, being in the radio industry and hosting things. And some people who get to a spot in the music industry, particularly Canadians, because you got to work your butt off to be somebody. There's a persona there. People think that these guys are going to be arrogant. Jeff's one of the most kind-hearted dudes I have ever met. To hang out with him was always a pleasure, and you can see that it's not just about, well, look at us, we're pretty cool and good at what we do, but there's some family values that come there. A young gentleman here in studio by the name of Mackenzie Burrows. Tell me about the guy sitting beside you as well. It seems like he's pretty good at what he does on a guitar.
Well, I met him through my drum teacher, which was also his guitar teacher, I think, right?
Yeah, that's Lee Cochran.
Lee Cochran. And I was talking to him. He's like, "You looking for a band? Because I've been playing alone for like I don't know how many years." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, I got the perfect guy for you." So he sets me up with him. And I go over his house. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of nervous because first time, ever doing something with a band. And so we just jammed for a bit. And I knew one song that he knew, I think, Cradle Rock.
Yeah, Cradle
so
Rock.
So we played that for like 2 hours, basically.
Yeah.
And then I left. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. Okay. And then I came back and we kept doing it. And
I went over to his house a couple times too.
Yeah.
So, and we played more.
Yeah. And then he surprised me. Every practice we had for like the first 3 months kept surprising me because he'd pull out some new stuff. And I'm like, how'd you learn that? You're like this old. And I'm like kind of surprised. And he kept impressing me with everything he was doing. And it constantly got better. And I'm just, I was kind of blown away.
Christian Vey, Mackenzie Burrows here in studio of Red Legacy. Would you agree, Christian, that you guys kind of had that immediate, this is who I need to be with musically right now?
Yeah, it was a quick gelling process, and he's also one of the loudest drummers that you'll ever meet in your life.
That's not a bad thing.
He's a hard hitter.
Tell us about that guitar that's in your hand. As mentioned, you're pretty smooth with it again for a 16-year-old kid. What is it about a piece of wood and some string that just is your whole world, it seems?
Well, there's like an infinite amount of things you can do on it. This is my acoustic guitar, and I got it for Christmas actually, and it really plays well, and hopefully I'll be able to make a sound half decent for everyone who's listening right now.
He's going to give us a solo jam session here in XS Studios. Tell us about your background with the guitar, though, because you've taken it everywhere. You've done so many things. Again, for a kid, I hate throwing that term around, but you're 16 years old, and you shouldn't be able to do the things that you're doing at this age. So tell us where that guitar, where your guitars, plural, have taken you through the years.
Well, I received my first Fender Stratocaster, my first guitar. It was a blue Mexican-made Strat, and I got it for Christmas in 2006. And I wasn't that serious of a player when I was younger. I mean, you don't have as much focus as you do when you mature. But it started to grow on me really in the year 2009. I found I was playing while I was watching TV, and I learned some Pink Floyd stuff, and I really enjoyed it. And as I kept going on and on, like I would notice little riffs that I've learned, note for note from a song, and I would always play them like that, but over time, the riffs would change and I would add notes, and I guess that's how I started to become better at my improvisation. And then Lee Cochran is actually my first teacher, which was Mackenzie's drum teacher. And then I actually got a second teacher. His name's Pete Palazzolo, and he started to introduce vocals, and I started to sing at that point, and then I started to do both, and that's when it really got difficult, because playing guitar is one thing and then singing is another thing, but then when you combine both together, your attention's divided, so it's hard to focus.
It doesn't seem like you're a guy who wants to differ any attention away from your guitar from what I'm learning here in the last hour or so. It's difficult for you, isn't it?
It's difficult, but like...
He wouldn't leave his guitar here in studio between sound check and running out for a coffee and coming back. He had to take it with him, wanted to play while he was... How many times have you slept with the guitar in your bed?
Well,
too many to mention, right?
I
don't know if the girls will like that or not, but
usually,
I think it's pretty cool.
Number one priority is preparing for shows, so we can do I can do the absolute best that I can, and so that'll kind of trump over some other stuff that I'm working on, because I want to make sure I deliver a good show.
They're serious about doing what they do. Red Legacy here in studio, Christian Vey and Mackenzie Burrows. Now, you've owned some competitions on that guitar and elsewhere as well. I want to ask you about what had to be a really, really cool, eye-opening situation. You as a kid found yourself playing at BB King's. That's a big statement. That's a huge statement, Christian. How does that feel?
There was a person named Chuck, and he actually said, I'll book you at BB King's in Nashville. And we actually did, and we went all the way. We drove to Nashville, and I ended up playing there, and it was pretty intimidating. There's some really good guys there, like unbelievable players. There's this jazz player who played like his the inverted guitar, like Albert King style, and he was fantastic. So it was pretty intimidating, but I got up there and I did my thing. So and I looked at the videos after, and it didn't sound too bad. So I was kind of happy when I did that.
Well, this is just the start for you guys, and to see where it takes you here. What is the end goal here for you? Do you guys have goals in mind? What you want to do together musically or individually?
I'd like to be a successful. Play big stages and whatnot, and make a name and buy a lot of guitars. Because
you, Mackenzie, you want to buy a lot of drum kits?
Yeah, basically, kind of customize as we go. You know.
There you go.
Yeah. Then there's the aircraft carrier we were talking about.
Yeah, he wants to buy an aircraft carrier. I'm not sure what the deal with that is.
Only time will tell, boys. Christian Vey, Mackenzie Burrows, Red Legacy. Where can we find the EP and more information on you?
Well, if you go to our shows, we pretty much always have them there, and iTunes has it, so you can get it there. All
right, we'll throw the link up on our Facebook fan page. You can find more on these guys, Red Legacy, by clicking Local Spotlight at ckxsfm.com. The guitar's ready to go. Christian Vey of Red Legacy live in XS Studios next. From Windsor, Christian Vey of Red Legacy in studio with that magical acoustic guitar. It's all yours, my friend. Christian Vey live from XS Studios. What was the quote? An infinite number of things you can do on an acoustic guitar or guitar in general. He's showing us exactly that live from XS Studios. Awesome job. Red Legacy. Find him online at red-legacy.com. Fellas, thanks again for being in studio here with us today. Really appreciate your time and all the best.